The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. 50, clear. Hey, check 24, check 24. Bang, 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 bang. Check three, ready, go.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Grace don't travel. Grace don't travel.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
On second down, it's Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Allen now on first down. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen, and he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield.
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Zach Ertz with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 99, check 99, check 4, check 4.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 64 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble, because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
We got 4. We got 4. 14. Alert! Single, single.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Allen. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. On the delay, it's Howard. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Allen. That's caught by Howard. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle.
I know most. Most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's got Evans. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 44-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, Allen will try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Allen. Going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Allen on 3rd down. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. Allen now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Running from the gun with Howard. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Now this time, Allen will throw. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 14.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Bills.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Mostert. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Allen to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our product pushed here. But then it ends in a field goal.
Yeah, how about that? Not enough time for product placement, but plenty of time to get 3 points out of the deal.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they are now just an extra push down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills 1st down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Fourth down, and on is Ty Long to punt. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Come on, QB, come on. Kill. Go on. Check three. 25.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They're running it. Ready.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got a man open, it's Ross. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
319. Go.
Now on 2nd and 13. Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Throwing right, and that's complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. Ertz has it left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Here's Allen to throw it. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo 1st. Allen now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half, 1st and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. He will push his way down to about the 14. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
I think in normal situations, most play callers would probably shelve that play in this situation. But down in the red zone, got a little something extra to play with. I like the way that he took a shot and went after it.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Now Allen off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Cincinnati. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On the delay, it's Mixon. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Jim,
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. On the toss, Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. Here's a run with Mixon. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Mixon trying to punch it in. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Again, it's Mixon, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
80 weapon. Hayward.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. To throw is Allen. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, second down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Back to throw. Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
You see me up here? That's right. We can't be stopped.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
At the 15-yard line.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Cincinnati, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.